So those are two new players in the space. Arbitrum is another one of the layer 2s that's interesting. So lots to watch there in the traditional crypto space. Let's see how the incumbents, let's see if the XRP lawsuit gets settled. That's going to be interesting too, and I think it cleans a lot of the space up. Regulation. We've had some shitty regulation with the library deal, but we need some clarity. XRP is going to be one of them, and then we'll get a few more tests. Who's going to regulate all of this space? Next big question. Is it going to be Gary Gensler? Is Gary Gensler going to go into a different job? Is Gary Gensler going to lose his job over FTX? Is the CFTC going to get the majority of it? I don't know. We're going to find out. But I know there's a lot of people fighting the fight here. People like Ryan Selkis, Senator Loomis, and a whole bunch of others who are in DC, Brian Armstrong, making sure we get the right rulings and a fairness that the space requires to flourish. The US needs to regulate properly, and the SBF debacle proved that. Now, SBF was another person on the show, and barefaced lied to us about who he is and what he does. He was basically telling us he was trying to, put equities on chain and clean up the space and buy these businesses because we need to sort this out and move forwards, when what he was doing was barefaced lying because he'd gone bust and used customer money. Another extraordinary moment in time in Real Vision history where we get to see that in real time. And, a bloody sad event, but typically, if you're going to build businesses in this space, you need to be regulated if you're going to take people's money. I don't care what you say. Now, DeFi is different because it's written into the smart contract how you get liquidated and how you're dealt with. It cannot be fraudulently manipulated by people. And the SBF thing and the whole Alameda thing was rotten to the core, and we're still just finding out how extremely rotten it was, and an awful situation, but it's done. All the leverage is gone. Every leverage player's gone. So what else did we talk about? We talked about metaverse, and we talked about Matthew Ball. He wrote his new book, and we further examined the metaverse. We also looked at On Cyber, the incredible platform that Punk6529 has built his open metaverse, his OM on. Amazing guy, Ryan, has built this small team, amazing project. And then we had on Eric Pullier from Vatum, something that came out of the blue, who are more far advanced than anybody else, really. And that was amazing what they've done. So the metaverses are moving forward. So we've got NFTs moving forwards, different people coming in. We spoke to Jared Dicker, again, more about culture, NFTs, ticketing, music. We've seen all of that cultural phenomena coming. We're seeing the layer 1s, the layer 2s, the developments of that. We're seeing the institutions, the hedge funds, the adoption of that. We're seeing regulation and the changes to that. This is the picture I put together in this shitty year of 2022 where prices did nothing but go down. But it's part of the space. The global monetary and liquidity cycle is why macro matters, why macro and crypto are the same thing. But underlying it is this technology that is changing the world. And it's always at this point that people say, well, how the hell is it changing the world? There's nothing going on here except scams, shitcoins, and all of that. Ignore it all. Put your fingers in your ear and focus on the bigger picture. Because the bigger picture is truly exciting to me. I think the other thing is, I'm really interested how people solve UX, because UX is still terrible. I still have to call up Sergio Silva and say, how do I stake my ape? What the hell does this do? How does it work? How do I connect to this and that? And how do I get my punk into my out of why can't I buy it on OpenSea? Well, you can't. You have to go to their website. So why does it want to go to a random wallet? Oh, it works that way because it's a different type of contract, and it goes through the centralized wallet and then goes into your wallet. Okay. Now, why can't I see it in my ledger? Well, because it can't show in a ledger because it's a different type of contract. I mean, Christ, it's difficult. So we will see UX. I'm really interested to see how Ledger do in the space, because I know Ian's working on a lot of stuff there. I'd love to see how Consensus are doing with MetaMask, where the next iteration, where the Phantom wallet goes, and also Temple. Let's see where the Tezos ecosystem goes. A lot of people are saying, hey, listen, you've got to watch both the Solano NFT system and the Tezos ecosystem because they're really interesting. So I think that's also worth watching. So I feel, I know it's weird, but I kind of get really excited when you've had the flush out, you've taken the pain, you've got the down cycle out of the way, because then you can get optimistic about the future. Now, I didn't sell any of my assets. I didn't switch them to stable coins. I learned the lesson from the last time around. So let me explain that lesson for those of you who don't know. Sip of wine first.